Hi, it's me again, Physic. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another long forgotten episode of the Phizcast. I don't want to say that because it makes it sound like it was already preemptive. However, it was not. I have simply not recorded because I have been suffering the slings and arrows of spring allergies as of late, and as such, I have not been in the best vocal state. Uh, So, on top of the fact that all of my sisters came back from college, and there are currently 7 people in my house, so I don't really get a lot of time alone to record and feel good about talking. So, this is the time I have now, and I will try and find more of these throughout the day because, honestly, while I do have all those Johns, um, I have also simply been neglecting recording for no reason because I've fallen out of the habit. And I also don't feel very creative, which feels really bad because this is kind of all about finding something, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's sure. Why not? Let's go with that. Creativity, being creative. Have I talked about this? I don't know. I really don't. But uh, I don't know. Being creative is hard because it's not that it's hard. I mean, it's hard for some people. For me personally, even though I'm rather, I'd say I'm clever, but I don't know if how creative I am because I don't know the limits of the definition of creativity because it depends on whether you define it through imagination or you define it through wit or you define it through like thinking around a problem as opposed to just brute forcing it. It depends on the context through which you're looking at this creativity. I think that um I think that through all creative outlets such as like art or um like feng shui, stuff like that, I don't feel like I'm very creative, which is not a good feeling because I really enjoy drawing and I really enjoy organizing things and I really enjoy like, making music or trying to create jokes. It feels hard when I don't think I'm creative even though I come up with some creative things. So it reinvigorates the confidence that I have in my creativity when something like that happens. But that does not stick around for very long, and as such, I lose the confidence in my creativity. And when I'm kind of in a rut, a creative rut, writer's block, oh yeah, writing, creative writing, that I'm pretty good at. However, when I'm kind of in a rut, it does not feel good because it feels like I want to make so many things, but my own brain and my own like hands and stuff is stifling what I think I could do, but I don't even give it a chance because I don't think that I'm creatively capable of making something like that. Like when you have a drawing and you have the idea of exactly what you want in your head and you can see the end goal from the very beginning, but you find it impossible to make that first line because you just don't want it to turn out wrong. You just want to be able to blaze through it and because you have the idea in your head, right? You should be able to just go through it and draw it and translate it from mind to paper or any other drawing program or whatever that you should use. But it's really frustrating when it ends up not just happening like that because even when you have this clear crystal clear image in your head of what you want and you try and go for it, it often does not turn out exactly the way you want it to. And while sometimes it does lead to positives, such as like discovering that you have a different art style or discovering that you like this drawing even though it wasn't what you originally intended, there can also be the negatives to that too, because even if you do appreciate it, you're like, yeah, but it's not what I wanted. And so you end up resetting it and drawing the same thing and it still doesn't turn out how you want it. It turns almost identical to the last one. even though you try to do something different. And then you try to do something so different in order to make it not identical that you end up going beyond you end up biting off more than you can chew. And you're going with all of these things that you haven't even learned about, but you expect to know simply because you have this idea in your head. Sorry, I'm using this metaphor of like it's you who's doing this. This is mostly me. This is a lot of the things that I have through this thought process, but you understand, I hope. um but I think that's what is hard about being creative, is when you can't be. And like creativity, I also think is inspired very much by experience and time, because with the different experiences that you have, you can look at you can like take inspiration from experiences that you've had with like some sort of thing you've never seen before, like a certain animal or a type of person that you've never seen before, never heard of, never talked with, never even discovered. And you can draw from that to create something else based on the likeness of your new experiences. And then the time part plays into it as well, because with more time comes more experiences. And with all of those, you have more places, more pools to draw water and spill it all over the place and see what it looks like. Um, yeah, I've, yeah, I don't know where to go. Uh, Almost 7 minutes in. I can do this. What else can I do to talk about creativity? Are there people that stifle your creativity? Maybe not just people. Maybe it's certain things, certain environments. Although I suppose that does come around to people creating the environments that stifle creativity. If you are in one of those environments, I highly recommend exploring new places. Unless, of course, you don't like being creative and you're okay with being mind melded into the mass of other people from coming from the environment in which your creativity is stifled. Um, but I suppose that's up to you. Um, but if you are in one of those environments, you should probably find the root of what you see is stifling, like the main cause of the problem, and try and work around it. Of course, that will involve being creative, because you can't just, I mean, if you can brute force it, I don't know if you should, but working around it might be good for you, because creativity is extremely important, because creativity leads to innovations, which leads to improvements, which leads to a better world. And a better world, who doesn't want a better world? And obviously that's relative, because my better world is absolutely different from yours, or yours might be different from the next guy's. However, that doesn't mean that compromises are impossible, because overall some things there are things that can be inherently good. Maybe not good for everyone in every scenario, but they themselves on paper can be good. And often those ideas come from people who are sick of things being bad. And so they have to create something else. They have to find this other solution to improve their environment. And in improving their own environment, they can improve how other people like them exist in an environment like that. And it's very healthy. It's very good. If you find it hard to be creative, like I do sometimes, it could be for a couple reasons. One being that you might just not have as much creative imagination as others, but that doesn't mean you have none. It could also mean that you're burnt out from creativity, that you've done way too much at one time and you've expired yourself. And that's not good. If you do that, please realize that it's okay to take a break sometimes, because often it will help you more in the end than it will hurt you in terms of productivity. And for a third reason, I don't really know. I said a couple. I guess that counts. Wow, 10 minutes. Didn't even notice. Well, that was kind of nice. Sorry, I'm sporadic, absolutely sporadic today, and you can probably take a shot every time I said the word creative and pass out from alcohol poisoning. However, don't do that. Please. I like you too much to do that. Thank you. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in today and hearing my thoughts go all over the place. Because, I mean, that's what you're here for, I suppose. Thank you for also putting up with my random upload schedule and my impossible um and random pattern of recording and uploading. But I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out and have some sporadic thoughts of your own. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.